Hi, everybody. It's Honest John. Do you have a pension plan at work? If you do, it's because of unions. Do you plan on taking a vacation this summer? The fact that you can is because of unions. Did you work overtime and receive time and a half for it? That's because of unions too. The 40-hour work week, the minimum wage, workplace safety, paid vacations and holidays, compensation for job-related injuries, health care, the right to challenge unfair disciplinary action, all because of unions. And let me tell you something. People died in that battle. People died for these rights. And America prospered. All of America. The rich did well. The rich always do well. The middle class expanded. And even the poor at least received a minimum wage. Now, I'm not saying unions are perfect. There is a history that includes corruption, feather bedding, all of these things. You know, there has been a need for union reform. Unions are much better than they were back in the day when the mafia controlled the Teamsters. So I'm not saying unions are perfect, but the fact is that the decline of the middle class corresponds exactly with the decline of unions. You can go to these graphs that show the decline in union membership, and the line corresponds exactly. It is the same line with the decline of the share of the wealth that the middle class now has. And income inequality, you go back to the Reagan administration, and once again, you look at the decline of the unions, and the graph for income inequality corresponds exactly. Ronald Reagan began the war against unions, and the Republicans have continued it to this day. And it's been those policies that have created the situation that we're in today, with the 1% owning more wealth than 60% of Americans, with the 10% owning more wealth than all of Americans. And there is no doubt that the Republicans are intent on finishing the job. If they accomplish that, then they'll go after salaries, benefits, overtime, the minimum wage, which we know they hate the minimum wage, pensions, and America will be back where it was in the 1890s. Even non-union workers benefit from the things unions have fought for. If you're a non-union worker in a state that has unions, you still make more money than you would doing the same job in a what they call right-to-work state. Let me tell you something. There's no such thing as a right-to-work state. It's a right to get screwed. It's a right to be powerless. So even non-union workers will be a lot worse off if the Republicans succeed in killing off the unions. If you want to see the end of the middle class in America, side with the Republicans against the unions. If you're middle class, you'll be carrying a sign that dooms you to poverty. There's been this demonization of unions. Oh, it's the unions' fault. The unions are too greedy. Teachers firemen, cops, they shouldn't have all the perks they've got. And the reason why they're doing that is to deflect attention away from the fact that it's not the middle class that's the problem in the United States. It's not the poor that's the problem in the United States. The problem in the United States is the rich. And I'm not saying all rich people are evil. But I'm saying that the policies and the politics have slanted everything towards the rich. And the more the rich have, the less there is for the rest of us. It's just that simple. I'm not saying the rich are not entitled to a big share of the pie. They are. They always have been. And they always will get a big share of the pie. But now, they're getting a share of the pie that was not meant for them. They're getting a share of the pie that we all used to get. And they're not even satisfied with getting our share of the pie. Now they want it all. Question is, are you willing to give it to them? I'm not. Thanks for listening.